Like a glove. Welcome back to the channel. So this has been in the background now and a lot of people are asking what's happened with it. So bit of a confession to make. I have been working on the car and I've been basically doing the floor repairs and bits and pieces like that. I haven't filmed any of it for the pure and simple fact is I haven't had the time to film and work, and also I felt like I was going to be a bit of a broken record covering the same stuff we've covered on the Green Cooper MJ and also the Budget Clubman fairly recently on this channel. So all I've been up to, like mentioned on the other cars, is prepared the inner seals and put the outer seals back on. So I'll show you the car now. It's stone chipped underneath. I apologise to people that wanted to see this, but time-wise I've really struggled. The Volvo has taken a bit of time to get it up to sort of scratch for a daily car, and yeah, I really just needed to get this done. I personally work to deadlines and I'm well behind on deadlines with personal projects and cars. So I hope you can appreciate I'm just a normal person living a normal life and yeah, we've got all the same problems that everyone else has in life. So I'm trying to juggle everything. So I chose not to film the floor repairs, apologies, just purely so I had the time to not have to sit and worry about editing, to not worry about the camera's going to go, not worry about what I'm going to say when I come out when I really don't feel like working on the car or whatever. I just went out, got it done, nailed it. So that being said, as the title suggests, this is the last video on this vehicle. So all we've got left to do is the passenger side door skin. I'll take you for a quick walk around the car and see where we're at anyway, but it's basically weirdly rusted at the top and a little bubble at the bottom, but we're going to cut the skin off. Hopefully the frame's okay. I've got a feeling the frame's going to need repairing. If the frame's all good, we'll paint it and then bang the new door skin on and call it that. Obviously, if not, we'll have to repair the door skin. So I appreciate that you have seen door skins on the Budget Clubman, but I kind of thought the door skin was a nice last job. The shell's kind of sorted. She's going to go back to our owner and they're going to finish the boot floor off. That just needs a few patches repairing in it, and then the car's going to go for a full respray. That being said, like mentioned with the Budget Clubman and this car, it'd be nice to have them back on the channel one day, so we will see them again. It's not like they're going to disappear forever. I'm very close friends with the people that own this car, and you know, it's going to be seen on the channel again, whether it's at a show or just out and about. So we'll get seen again. I feel very proud that I've managed to save this car, because I, for one, like mentioned, I'm not a hater of them, but the MPI does suffer with rust more than most minis, shall we say, or tends to, depending on how it's been treated and kept. And we've saved it, and can't say fairer than that. So let's get stuck into it and let's have a look, shall we? Right, so walking obviously around to the front of the car, you all know that I've done the bulkhead repairs all the way along there. We've repaired all of this new, you can see black panels. I have painted this all black as well, just because the car sits outside. I don't want it in just satin primer, because primer is porous. But under the side of the car, it has all been repaired and stone chipped. So you've got all new seals on both sides, floor repairs. I'll drop in and show you the inside. So you can kind of see where it's been stitched in. That's all just seam seal, and obviously that's all sound ender. It's all been repaired on both sides. We've used some floor pans to kind of make up the bits and pieces, and all in all, it's a very solid, decent little car now. We have got somewhere with it. But this video, we are cracking on with this door. So oddly, I've never seen one rust here, so that's obviously the issue, but there is the minor blemish at the bottom there, a little bit of rust. Same story this side, it's all been painted, stone chip ready, so it's going to get a top coat on top of it as well, obviously, when it gets resprayed. But for now, we're going to get cracking on this. So yeah, like mentioned, I feel like it's gone pretty well. So you can kind of see where I've lost the weld just in that channel there, so it doesn't look untidy. And we basically put a whole section in here of the floor. It's had a little repair here, and then obviously the outer seal on it. We have actually done the doorstep along here as well, and it all marries up to the back. So I appreciate kind of once again that I kind of probably should have filmed it all, but I just haven't. It is what it is. But we can be very proud. But we can be very proud of what we've achieved. Right, so now it's on the operating table. Yeah, the bottom of the door's pretty far gone. I mean, skin wise, I'm hoping it's not going to be the actual frame, but it doesn't look too bad. It does look like the skin's got most of a bit of surface rust there. We know what the Clubman was like, and it was bad, and they didn't look that bad at all. So very, very simple. I'm going to whip the door handle off, obviously. I'm going to wind the window down. I'm going to try and do this and take all the window mechanism out, because everything seems to be seizing and snapping on this car. Shouldn't get any sparks, because obviously I'm grinding along this edge. Once the frame's off, I haven't got to do anything, because I can leave the door skin down and then it gets bonded to it and then just tacked to the top. So the glass should be absolutely fine. What I am going to do is I'm just going to cover it while it's inside the door frame. But we should be good. I have done it that way before and it's worked absolutely fine on the sidewalk. So biggest thing is get the frame off. Let's have a look. So just going to grab this off camera. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. Get it out of the way. Yeah. Let's see what we've got to work with. Right, so real simple, flat disc. I'll run all the way around the edge and you'll see the seams split. I've shown you before on the budget club and stuff like that. Really, really simple and really easy with this. There is a few spot welds that you will encounter on the way round. I'm assuming this is original skin, so we're going to see a few. Let's get stuck in. Right, so it's all cut off now. And there we have it. Garage is an absolute mess, once again. Bit of sound deadening. Door frame looks pretty decent. If you remember in the Clubman, it was all I had to make all of this, it was gone. What have we got? What have we got in here? This is all sealant, bit of surface rust. Sealant and surface rust. It actually looks like, if anyone's ever had one of these fail on them, they have a rubber trim in there. That's what that is rubber. So I think one of these, it almost does look like a... There's like some dates on there as well, I can't quite read them. I know, £16 plus something. £16 plus something, I can't read the arse bit. So these are definitely replaced. Unless Rover ran out of stock and went buying somewhere else. But, God, I'm quite happy. This frame's pretty decent. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a nylon wheel, hopefully, if I've got one left. And we're just going to clean this back. We don't want to damage this. And then we're going to rush treat this. And we can like trimming the tops off and actually start looking at getting the skin on. So, really not bad at all. So, right, gonna get this cleaned up. It's mint. It's like it's not even gone on the corners. I thought this was gonna be a lot worse than it was. Mint. Right, so just give you guys a bit of a close up. I say all these bits are like a rubber and that out of one of these originally, but all along there, this is all surface rust. It's absolutely solid. It's really thick metal still as well, more sealant. That's where the spot weld was. So there was a spot weld here, and there's always a spot weld right by that hole there for the handle. And obviously it's just tacked at the top, which you saw me folding it out of the way. Not the strict correct way to do it, but hey, we got the same result. Like I say, this is nice and safe in here. This being an MPI, it's got the crash beam in the door as well, if you're all wondering what that is. The later Mini's had a crash beam in the door. It all looks in very good condition here, so we're going to lightly trim all this back. Bit of treatment, bit of primer, bugger it, let's start getting the skin on. Right, so I left the frame with some rust treatment on, which has done its job. It's all gone nice and black, everything feels nice and solid, there's no crusty, flaky bits. But we did notice there's a bit of a hole here, so I've started to cut this out. And this is a piece of another panel that we used on the car. I'm just going to put that in there, and then that should be job done. But yeah, all the rest of the frame is, you know, it's come back to nice shiny metal. That's been treated. I'll probably run over it again, probably put some paint on it. But the plan is we'll get that repaired, and then we're just going to etch prime, clean this back, etch prime it, and then I'm going to use some of that nice black stone chip just on the inside of the door, so it's a bit hard wearing. And then we'll look at getting the frame back on the car and mocking the door skin back up onto it. Once I'm happy with that, I can tack the door skin to it, fold it round, yada yada. You know the drill if you've seen the Budget Clubman. But yeah, it's all come up really nice. So like that's nice still. So it's a good door frame. All up here is not corroded or anything. It's come out nice. So we're getting there. Right, so it went really nice and well. You can barely tell it's been done. So a bit more cleaning up, and then that's nice and solid again now. So yeah, you won't see it once it's all painted up and obviously the skin's on. Yeah, a few other little bits I want to just sort of nip in, but yeah, pretty happy with that. Nice and smooth. So my cleaning up turned into a little bit more, and I put a whole other section in there. So that's the first bit I cut out, which was out there. So that's all heavily pitted and obviously went through. And then this was the same story. It wasn't as bad, but I mean, it's rust is rust at the end of the day, and it was terminal, it had gone through. So that was there. So it's very easy to do. You literally just, this, like I said, this is all offcuts of metal that I had from panels that I've cut up to use on that car. So it's not cost anything to go and buy these extra bits, if you know what I mean. So that's why I always say in all my videos, do not ever throw away offcuts of panels, because like little jobs like this, when you're coming to the end of the build, you're like, oh bloody hell, I need some metal. You got it. Right, so next point of call with all of this is it's going to etch prime all of that, then I'm going to put a top coat on it, leave that to dry, and then we'll crack on with getting it back on the car, and then lining up the door skin thing onto it. That's why I've left the glass in, because I actually found it easier to do the Clubman when the door was weighted. And obviously I've covered it all up, so it's not been damaged in this whole process. But yeah, and it also gives me a chance to clean it up. So that'll be the next point of call. So off camera, I'm going to etch prime it. You don't need to see me put some spray paint on the thing, and we'll get some paint on it. So I've given the door frame a bit of paint. I always do this just to try and, it's better to have a top coat in my eyes. It's protected, then all this will have seam sealer over it anyway, around the edge. It's actually Kingfisher blue, and it's not that far off a colour match. This is just a lighter blue, but obviously you're never going to see it again. And then we have this, which is a heritage door skin, and should if I'm looking at it nicely, fit pretty darn nice, and it does. That's not far off at all. Pretty happy at that. So that hole there lines up absolutely perfectly. Obviously they get tacked and pulled right back. That swage line there matches, really nice. Gets tacked on there, then the rest of it gets folded, but that's fitting really quite nice. Pretty happy with that. Right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off here with a pen where I want this to sit. Then I can pull it all back off the car, tack this, or what I might do is tack it. Yeah, no, pull it back off the car, seam seal this, and then clean this up. Or what I might do is, I've never done it before, but it seems silly to pull it back off the car again, is seam seal the frame on the car, stick this to it, and then tack that. Once they're tacked, I can pull it off and fold it around. So yeah, let's do that. It saves door on and off, door on and off, door on and off, door on and off, door on and off. A lot quicker. So one thing I will say is I'm all for using pattern panels. That's fine, you make them fit. Heritage door skins are 10 times better. The profile here, you can tell a door skin a mile off that's not been done right. So, alright, I'm going to get the seam sealer out, I think. So I'm going to hammer and dolly this a bit straighter, and then we'll stick that to that. Boom. So you just saw me there, I've tacked the top of both sort of door frames. Now we're on to this. So this is from Frost. Once again, I've used it to do the A panels. It's a door skinning or panel folding tool, whichever you'd like to call it. I will drop the link in the description below for it. Absolutely cracking tool. You can buy different nylons to go on here, and you basically don't do it, try and achieve your fold first time, but you work your way round it, round it, round it. So what you're going to see me do now is I'm going to tap all of this around. I'm going to turn the door over, tap it round to get it started, and then we'll rock around with this. Like a glove. Right guys, in true Archfab tradition there, it does fit like a glove. I am quite impressed with it. So I see a bit of flaking paint where I've hammered it all round and folded it, but one thing I will say is that is a lovely panel gap. It doesn't protrude there. Just got to nib that down. Obviously you see around the tops like that, but that is completely flush with the bodywork. I'm really happy with that. That's a lovely, lovely gap. So all the same down here, this line lines up nice. Obviously this needs grinding back, but it will get done when it gets painted. Likewise with that, I'm going to do that now. And this follows the way down here. A little bit of a kick out, but that's adjustment on the hinge. So I'm not really bothered by that at all. But it fits really, really nice. It opens and closes lovely. So So just find the little thing. So again, I've done it again. Like my nicest ever welds, always where you can't bloody see them. So sorted. Really happy at that. So all I've got to do is I'm just going to grind back them welds, but I won't bore you with doing that. And I'm just going to re-seam seal the whole frame again, just so it's solid and nice and water can't get in there. But you know what that means. As Matt Green would say, that is a good foreskin. That is sorted. Happy at that. Well, you know what that means. My time with this old girl is done. I don't know how to sort of go about it. It's actually, every time a car kind of leaves, it's a bit crap, because you do put your heart and soul into them. I'm not going to lie, this one's tested my patience. Working on a later Mini is definitely different to working on, say for example, Amber, which is the last resto we did, and the 89, which is coming next, which I'll get into in a bit. But once you get used to them, I guess they're just like any other car. The metal's very different. It's thinner for a start, and they rust in just really weird places. But again, I like a challenge. So where have we been on this build? Let's just recap on everything. So the windscreen's sat in the car now. I don't know how it was sat in the car when it arrived to me. So we've replaced the bulkhead, like the whole top of the bulkhead along there. That's all been refabricated. We've then put the dash rail back in, we put the scuttle in, and then the full front end. So all we've used heritage panel wise is the door skin and that scuttle panel. All of the rest is pattern parts. Actually, sorry, one of the A panels is a heritage panel, but the rest is pattern parts. All this is pattern. We've retained the original bonnet, which I will agree is the right thing to do. This will get repaired. Like mentioned, a lot of people said, you could Mark 1 the front of it, which if it's my car, I probably would. I like the look of the Mark 1 cars. I think it's quite a nice twist on a later car as well. Sort of harks back to the originality, but these cars, they're fetching nice money. This one obviously is not going to get sold. It's definitely part of the family, and it's going to retain that. It's going to, believe it or not, this car will probably go into pretty much daily use again once it's got painted. That's how it was used 5 years ago until it got taken off the road. And the idea is it's just going to get used again and enjoyed. And for God's sake, look at the colour of that thing. It's like the sidewalk. When you use it daily and you're walking up to it after work or in the supermarket car park, beautiful. They make you smile, and that's the whole point. So we've got really far. I didn't film doing the floors, like I said. All I've done is repair the inner sills, put seals on. I feel like I've done that loads of times on this channel, and like mentioned, I just needed to get it done. So I apologise for not filming it, but if you catch our other episodes and different builds, and there's obviously, come on guys, there's going to be more minis on this channel, we'll get stuck into that again. But we're done. I'm happy. All I've got to do is hoover out inside, organise a few parts that came in the car, put them back in, and Edith and James, you'll hopefully see when he collects the car, are going to go take it back home. So just wanted to give a quick shout out. This is what I was using. I will put a link in the description below to do the door skin. I have used it before in other builds, but Frost sorted us out with this. It's an awesome, it's door skinning, panel folding, flange folding tool, whatever you'd like to call it. And it's a proper heavy weighted tool. You can change the nylon blocks to bigger or smaller or larger. Really good tool to have in your kit, guys. I really would recommend getting one if you're doing any resto. Not just doing door skins, but just folding panels. It is a really good tool. So if you haven't already, please go check out Frost, our sponsors. Also give this video a thumbs up and comment below. What have you enjoyed on this MPI, for one? What would you like to see next on the channel? Because like mentioned in the Volvo video, we're going through all the cars and we're going to work out. So MPI, obviously, unfortunately it's his last video, but what would you like to see on the channel? So everyone who's supported this channel, thank you very much. It's been awesome support. It's been very different. It's been a different learning curve for me, and I love a challenge. So on to the next car to save, which will be the 89, which will be coming in the next video. And yeah, catch you soon, guys. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and go and get yourself a project, because life's too short not to get one now.